Good evening, everyone. I'm Candice Gonzalez. My topic is on the history of killer whales in the wild versus killer whales in captivity. Killer whales are beyond a fascination to me. Killer whales are so essential to learning about because they are so gentle with us outside of captivity. There have never been a recorded case of a killer whale attacking a human in the wild. I feel like my credibility on this case lies in my personal research and education that I've put in over the years. I've been completely fascinated with killer whales since I was 4 years old, and my mom turned on Free Willy on the TV, and it's just been my favorite animal ever since. I've watched literally like hundreds of thousands of hours of killer whale documentaries and just looked at news articles and research online. Though the Cell Press article titled The Origin of the Killer Whale states that killer whales are the only extant cetaceans that hunt other marine mammals, they have never been proven to attack us out in the wild. However, in captivity, 4 humans have died to killer whale attacks. The most common one people tend to think of when they think of killer whale attacks is the one that the Netflix documentary Blackfish is based off of, that killed a woman, I believe, in LA. In captivity, this graph that I'm about to show you shows that in the wild orcas have been proven to live longer than those in captivity. This right here, Robeck shows in his article comparison of life history between free-ranging and wild killer whales, that female orcas in the wild live up to be 90 years old, while the captive orcas only live to be about 46 years old. Vastly different age differences when they're put in a tank compared to when they're left free-ranging in the wild. Orcas do not belong in captivity. Crotophil's article on the life history of and social structure of killer whales, they state that in captivity there have been about 170 that have died and 30 killer whales that were aborted or miscarried, while there have been no reports of miscarriages in the wild. Killer whales tend to give birth to live young most of the time, and they tend to live to be about 90 years old for females. Though numbers for the wild ones are not known, male orcas in the wild live to be about 60 years old, while 48 years old is about the average range of a captive male orca. They don't do well in these environments. This is picture that I'm about to show you is a captive killer whale looking absolutely happy. They are absolutely miserable. They clearly need to be released. As you can see in this photo, it looks happy, though their behaviors otherwise show different. Orcas in the wild are shown to be more vocal, and in large pods. Steinman states in their article, Life History of Killer Whales, that killer whales, when they're in captivity, tend to be more aggressive and violent towards one another and have self-harming behaviors, while in the wild they live in pods up to 40 or up to 50 and are very vocal. Orcas have a history, and their history between their captive lives and their free-ranging lives are vastly different. When looking at the behaviors of a killer whale, we can tell that there have been 0 attacks in the wild. They don't belong locked up in a cage alone, being forced to do laps. And wild orcas are super vocal and live into pods up to 30, while there tend to be one or two in a tank at a time. Please visit orcasconserving.org to find out what you can do to help release these whales. Thank you so much. Have a great night.